Betty Croswick here. I know that to some of you it may seem sort of self indulgent to be worrying about what happened to the gold in our treasury, considering the effects of COVID 19 and how it's so impacting everybody, and there are more things to worry about right now by instead of what may have happened in the past to our gold in the National Treasury. But I assure you, it does matter because in the long term, this will certainly matter how our currency is affected, how steady and how worthy the Canadian dollar is in the days ahead. And if there has been such mismanagement on the part of our lawmakers that they have gone against or deliberately gone against everything that all other advanced countries are doing about gold. Most other treasuries of advanced countries have been buying gold, particularly in the last 10 years. And in the last 2 or 3 years, it has really accelerated. Well, Canada, it just kept selling its gold and selling its gold. Well, whose fault is it? Because actually, a tidy little amount of gold in the National Treasury would be very helpful in these times, as gold in treasuries give the appearance and the substance of having something to back up their currency besides just, hopeful dreams. So we need to look at this and try to figure out if what happened to the gold in our treasury, why it was all sold off. Until we can find this out, are we ever going to have a sustained currency? Because right now, Canada is the only advanced nation that has no gold in their treasury, because 77 ounces of gold is not considered anything in terms of the tons of gold that we had in 1965. Because in 1965, we had quite a lot of gold. We had 1,000 and exactly, we had 1,023 tons. That was quite a lot of gold. That's quite a lot of gold. That would be actually quite a lot of gold today for our country to have. Except that now we only have 77 ounces. And we are down in the bottom of all other countries who are considered Western countries, or advanced countries, pardon me. So in trying to find out from the websites of the people in the ivory towers of the finances of Canada, what happened here, and so at least we know and can go from that point forward and think about how to arrange the financial systems of Canada within the concept of a resetting, because there will be a resetting, and we will know something about it and have something to say about it, or we will not. Certainly the people in charge prefers the we will not probably have anything to say about the finances of Canada, obviously. But let's just look at the prime ministers, and I was trying to relate different prime ministers when this first started being sold off. And then, our present Prime Minister Trudeau, uh, did any of this gold sell-off happen during his tenure? Because he hasn't been Prime Minister way that long. Uh, yes, it has happened. The very last of our gold sold off, and Trudeau's tenure. Now, he became Prime Minister on November the 4th, 2015. And during this period, um, he he sold off the very last of the gold, actually, because in in it was in November 1915. Just not long after he was inaugurated. Um, the the finance department, the Bank of Canada, or whoever is in charge of this sell-off, it's not clear to me, sold 41,106 ounces of gold. And then in January 2016, sold 32,806 ounces, which left the infamous 77 ounces that we now have in our treasury. So, but one has to ask the question of why, since 1965, when this selling started started right not too long after this sell-off started happening. Now, what we had to have in order for this to occur, we would have to have the Minister of Finance, the Governor of the Bank of Canada, and the Superintendent of financial institutions all working together to enable this to happen. They had to agree. They're a triad. They work in each other's shoes. So how is it that since 1965, every triad of ministers of finance and the governors of the banks of Canada and the superintendents of financial institutions all were of the same mind to sell off the gold? And what role actually does the prime minister play in this? Does he actually have power over these ministries, or is he just off to the side and doesn't have anything to say about whatever they do? Well, you could kind of might think this, because I don't like to rag on Trudeau. I really don't. He's in enough trouble as it is, and so is his Minister of Finance, as they are up against the wall with this We Charity thing. So I don't like it. It makes me queasy. I think Trudeau started off really great. He had a great future, I thought, as a PM. But when you look at all of these institutions and think that, well, they weren't Trudeau's decisions, whatever, you have to stop and think that these are cabinet decisions. And Trudeau is the one who does the appointing of the cabinet ministers. So, yes, it also falls to Trudeau, to Justin Trudeau. But as I said, this is in the past, but we've got to understand this and say to ourselves, and if Canada is going against the grain while all other countries are acquiring gold, and the Bank of Canada and the Minister of Finance and the superintendents, they are not satisfied until almost every ounce of gold is sold out of our treasury. Something is bizarre about this that doesn't sit right with me, and I just can't let it go. And I will report on this again next time. Thank you. Bye now.